Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and if you can sense a bit of extra excitement in my voice, it is because I've been sent a game specifically by a player asking me to cast and upload it, and I don't get a lot of those requests. I usually have to hunt for games, but I'm hoping to get more as the channel grows, so when I do get those kinds of offers, I always want to oblige, especially when I saw that this is a player I have already featured on the channel, and I found to be a very entertaining player. Love this guy's style. But first, let's introduce our civs. We are on the map Courland, and in the south of that map, playing in the color blue as the Germans, it is the return of Raincloud. Last time we saw him, he won a very intense 1v1 as Malta. Really cool map control play. And yeah, it was just a super awesome game. Picking up 50 coin here, love that. It's going to make his transition into the market as he ages up, and especially to get that hunting dogs much smoother. But Raincloud now playing as the Germans, no Malta today, and he's actually started to get a little bit of attention from other YouTubers as well. I know that Lionheart recently casted a game of his, and I know that Widgie actually casted this very game, though I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen like the first 2 or 3 minutes of this game, so it's going to be a new experience for all of us. I'll drop both of those channels in the description below. Go check them out. Great casters, great people. But yes, we do have Raincloud in the south of the map, getting that early trading post. And as far as Raincloud's rank, in case you're curious, he's mid-level elo right now, around my level, but I think that elo hides his actual talent. I think the guy is actually way more skilled than the number lets on. But before we look at his first card, let's quick introduce his opponent. In the north of the map, playing in the color red as the Portuguese, we have Raincloud, Camping Noob. It must be somebody that knows Raincloud, either favorably or unfavorably. It's hard to tell with that username, but also picking up a trading post. Funny, with Courland, the trading posts are so far apart that if you are one player on one side of the map, you can really only focus on one until maybe the mid-late game, until you have a lot of map control. So I think I could see both players seizing these 2 posts and maybe even getting the upgrade for both of them. And sending, what is he sending? Sent Furrier as his first card, not going with Fatorius. His deck is called China, so we'll be interested to see what he's doing there. But let's take a look at Raincloud's deck, because I think this is the reason he wanted me to cast this game. And sorry, was at a loss for words there. You are not being deceived. This is not Photoshop. This is a real deck. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Raincloud Circle deck for Germany. It has a total of 4 cards out of 25. He has the infinite 300 food shipment in age 1. He's got 700 wood plus 2 Ulans, 700 coin plus 2 Ulans in age 2. He's got 1 card in age 3, the Circle Army, which, if you've never seen it, I don't blame you, but for 250 food and 250 wood, it basically sends a rotating batch of really powerful units. So Black Brunswickers, Mounted Infantry, and Saxon Curs, really powerful stuff. But that's it. That's all he's got. And he is going up to age 2 now with the Quartermaster, going to get the 400 wood, and no wood being gathered in transition, so no market, not even a house. That is interesting. Meanwhile, Raincloud going with the 500 food, pretty standard port stuff, immediately going with the 700 coin, though he did not go for a strict 10-10, did build the house here. And we'll see what happens with this covered wagon. It looks pretty defensive. It looks like a kind of a mix between a super defensive town center and a super aggressive one. I don't love the placement. I like that it's on the edge of the ice, but it's just not securing as many resources as I might like. I would maybe like it a little bit further back, closer to this town center, right beneath this coin mine, and maybe right next to this hunt as well. But still, not a terrible placement. Good herding from Raincloud, and sending 700 coin immediately as his first shipment, and he has already used half of his deck, which you cannot say for many players. at the 4-minute and 45-second mark. So props to him. But he is going to get those early Ulans. And again, no buildings going down. He is straight macroing for age 3. And we could be seeing a 6-minute age 3 from Germany here. That might be a little ambitious. Yeah, it's going to be a little too ambitious. Maybe like closer to a 6-minute 30. But still, this is as naked as a naked FF can be. A town center and 1 house. No villager shipments. Just 300 food and 700 coin, and we'll see what he sends with his next shipment. Probably going to be 700 wood, seeing as that's the only card he can send. But these 2 Ulan gonna start roving around the map, maybe try to pick off some vills. Raiding against port is gonna be a little difficult because of the extra town centers, but not impossible, as they do need a lot of food, and so their settlers can very, very quickly start to get out to vulnerable areas on the map. Let's quick check out Raincloud Camping Noob. Sent 700 coins, 700 wood. So besides the Fatorias, again, a very, very standard port play, although it's not your FF with just the 10 villagers. Really fast stage up that a lot of people do. Does a really nice job of getting his vills built up here. Doesn't bill up all of them because he wants to maximize that town center damage while also maximizing the production from his vills. So really like that out of Raincloud Camping Noob. Raincloud is the nude one, going with such a naked FF. Oh, Raincloud, how obscene of you, sir. But going up to age 3 now, and he's going up with the Exiled Prince. So let's see. It's not quite going to be 6-minute 30, but it is going to be hitting before the 7-minute mark, which for Germany, actually pretty quick. And now starting to gather a little bit of wood in the transition here. But again, this card that he has in age 3, the Circle Army card, it costs 250 food and 250 wood every time to send. So he's going to have a steady income of both resources if he is going to spam this card, which I'm assuming he's going to. I don't think there's going to be a lot of other cards besides this one. Meanwhile, Camping Noob, stable, market, 3rd town center coming out. So both players aging up relatively at the same time. And if Portuguese can maximize their economy, we could be seeing a very, very quick and very, very shameful defeat for our boy Raincloud. We have 11 villagers at the 7-minute 20 mark for Germany, and a whopping 15 for Raincloud Camping Noobs. Not noobs, it's not plural. So bare bones economy for both players. 5 Dragoons coming out, which I think is a good prediction. You know that Germany's going to have a ton of Ulans, so going with Dragoons as sort of a blind pick is actually not bad. But he has to have scouted out this deck. Come on, there's no way you don't look at this deck and just start immediately changing your game plan. But the first card is going to be arriving, and it's the Veteran Black Brunswickers. These guys have 162 HP, 19 ranged attack, 20% hand damage resistance. So not a bad unit at all, and they are a very, very quick unit. Look at these guys shuffle across the map. Oh, look at that. Their footprints get left in the ice and the snow. I never have seen that effect before. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I love DE, man. It has its problems, but stuff like that just makes me happy. And let's see if there's any other bonuses to these guys. I don't see them often. They're good against cavalry, and they do benefit from promotions, but you can only have 30 of them. And oh my god, they just deleted that villager. Oh, I mean, there are 13 of them, but they shoot so quickly. Oh my, these guys could be a buzzsaw if Raincloud Camping Noob does not watch his villagers carefully, because they can kill them so quick. Way quicker than you can get them built up in a town center, unless they're like right next to it. We do have a bit of an explorer fight going on here. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't look like either player is going to be going for a second trading post, so those explorers really just scouting at the moment. He does have a decent amount of Dragoons out now, so maybe enough to deal with these Brunswickers, but again, they're going to have a really good ranged attack against the Dragoons. He's using his TC fire to the best of his advantage, still has Minutemen available if he wants to send them. Meanwhile, Raincloud sending Circle Army once again, and we're just going to be saying that over and over. Send Circle Army, send Circle Army, send Circle Army. It's all he has. But now that the 3 organ guns are out for Portugal, I think this is definitely going to start tipping in Red's favor, but he needs to get them engaged. He's getting these Dragoons out all on their own, taking a lot of unnecessary damage there, and I think that was maybe a little bit of sloppy micro there from Camping Noob. If he had engaged with all of those units, especially the organ guns, I think he only would have lost maybe 1 or 2 Dragoons, maybe none at all. But now we have, what are these guys? Veteran Mounted Infantry, another unit I'm not familiar with. Let's go to the card, Alex. Let's see, ranged heavy cavalry that can dismount to become a skirmisher, good against infantry, and also benefits from promotions. All right, interesting. 264 HP, holy cow, and a 15, is that a range resistance? Okay, so another really, really strong card. Raincloud now getting great coats because he knows that his villagers are under threat. But look at these guys. They have dismounted, and now they are skirmishers and actually going to do bonus damage against those Dragoons, and even more villagers going down to those Black Brunswickers. But they are both going to be susceptible to these 3 organ guns, and until he has an answer, Raincloud can pester, but he cannot make any sort of serious attack in those Dragoons as long as they're kited well and they're not mixed in with the control group of the organ guns so that they're slowed down like they are now. They should be able to kind of poke in and out, but these musketeers are so fast that I don't know if they'll be able to actually kite and not have to pay for it. And Circle Army once again coming in for Raincloud. He's just going to be spamming this all day. And the 5 Saxon Curs are next. And that is exactly what he needs, because if he can block off those Dragoons with his infantry and get in with those Curs and the organ guns, he is going to have an amazing time. Now 20 bills for Raincloud, 23 for Camping Noob, which, seeing that he's on 3 town centers and one of them is very forward. Holy cats. Out come the Cassadors. I like that he got him out. That was a nice play there. That was a really quick cue from Camping Noob, unless he was always planning on that. But, oh no, they're going to get trapped because in come the Curs, the veteran Saxon Curs, 511 HP, 20 ranged resistance, 30. No, wait, what is it? 30 hand attack. Yes, I was right. And they will delete the Cassadors without even breaking a sweat. The Minutemen come out, but I think Raincloud is going to stand and fight this anyway, even bringing in the Explorer to do a little bit of hand damage on those degrading Minutemen. And these settlers still coming out and trying to gather resources, and I think that's why Portugal's villager lead is actually not getting up as fast as it usually does, because he can't really produce many settlers out of here because of so much fighting going on in this area. But the reinforcements are on the way, the Dragoons and the organ guns, and actually a surprising lack of reinforcements coming out for Camping Noob. I think he might be focusing a little bit too hard on getting vills out of all 3 town centers and not focusing hard enough on getting up a decent enough mass to beat this very, very unconventional army from Raincloud. Now, meanwhile, Raincloud, what is his macro looking like? He's got 17 vills on coin, 6 on wood, and I guess at this point he's just trading. No, he can't be trading wood for coin. He's got an artillery foundry now. What is he going to be making there? He's making a priest. Okay, well, you know, people need somebody to go to confess their sins, especially these cuirassiers, after they just brutally murdered those Portuguese Cassadors. So out comes the priest, and a culverin is in queue. Circle Army once again being set, and I'm guessing 13 more Black Brunswickers are going to come out onto the map. And look at these curs being such sneaky little Sebastians. And they're actually going to catch this Ville trying to make the house. I like the placement of this house. It would have done really good scouting, and he's going to get it up, but he's going to lose a villager as a result. Now it's 25 to 32, and again, you would imagine that with 3 town centers, that Portuguese advantage would be higher, but it just seems like the Portuguese economy is off to a little bit of a slow start as we enter the mid-game now, and I think that might be due to all of the losses he took right at the start when those Black Brunswickers came in. He's got Dragoons running all over the map, and then he's got his main army here, but it's not a big army. He's got 8 Halbs, he's got a few Minutemen that are on 1 HP, and he's got the 3 organ guns, and this seems way too aggressive. I think he's pushing in with way too small of an army. The 5 Dragoons are going to join, but against the Brunswickers, which are going to be coming out, he does have a culverin out as well, and those cuirassiers are probably somewhere still on the map. Yes, here they are. More Dragoons coming in. I still don't think it's enough. Is it going to be? How many of these Dragoons are on low HP? Quite a few of them, actually. 3 or 4 of them are almost dead. And these Black Brunswickers are going to be able to take them out relatively easily, plus Town Center fire. And he's going to focus the Halberdiers. I think he's biding his time, and in come the Curs. They're going for the money shot, boys. And the organ guns are completely exposed. They're going to go down. And meanwhile, the Dragoons just giving up, a second Culverin coming out and not going to be needed hardly at all. In fact, it won't be needed at all. One of the Culverins is going to go down, but in exchange for the entire Portuguese army, this is a pretty good trade. Second Culverin going to go down now, but oh no, it stays alive with 3 HP. Where is the priest? Call Father Heindorf, or whatever his name is. I can't think of a good German name. Did the priest die? Where'd the priest go? I mean, actually, in hindsight, the priest is probably a good move, seeing as he's got these really expensive units from the shipment. And so healing these, not actually a bad idea. And he's been so good with these Curs. Raincloud, despite his elo, okay, calm down. I think he has really good unit control, actually. I think he's able to maneuver, especially his cav units, really, really well. I think he took a really good fight, though. At the same time, I think that bad fight was more due to Raincloud camping noob, pushing in far too aggressively. And then now the Black Brunswickers are coming in. I would love to see them attack this town center, but I think they're going for this herd of villagers over here. Oh my goodness. That would be a juicy take. That's 8 villagers, currently 44 for camping noob, 24 for Raincloud. So we are finally starting to see the Portuguese economy kick in. A barracks coming down here. He needs to be getting out more Caçadors. Both of his Caçador shipments are now dried up. In fact, all he has left are the 9 Musketeers, which I don't think would be super effective, but now he's got more these are the veteran mounted infantry. I thought they were more cuirassiers. But the veteran mounted infantry, once they dismount, they'll actually be fairly effective against the Dragoons and the muskets that Camping Noob is making. And I don't know if that's the right call. I think going for muskets at this point, I think you're just kind of playing into the composition of Raincloud. But a second group of Minutemen going to come out. They are already degraded. They're going to go down very, very quickly. And look at these Black Brunswickers. They're going to kill so many of these villagers, and that is going to be game. Camping Noob says, no, I'm done. I'm tired of these stupid units. I'm out. Which, given the circumstances, I don't think Camping Noob has lost this game. He's at 48 vills. He's going to lose like another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to be down to like 43, 42 vills. Raincloud's still only at 26. They both have 1 TP. Raincloud has no market. Camping Noob does. Camping Noob also has down a church. I don't think Camping Noob loses here. I think that was a premature resign. Now, again, Raincloud definitely has the advantage, but maybe Camping Noob's seeing something I'm not. Anyway, let's look at this in a little bit more depth. Follow me to the postgame. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the postgame. And before I begin, I have to say that Raincloud might take the award for the weirdest deck I have ever seen in any game that I've casted, and I've casted about 52 now, and I have never seen anything like that. I don't know how optimal it is. It doesn't feel super strong, if I'm being honest, compared to normal Germany, but it's certainly really fun to watch, and it's got a lot of great flavor to it. But when we look at the stats, I'm tending to kind of lean back on what I said just a little bit ago. I don't think Camping Noob lost this game. I think this was a bit of a rage quit. I think he could have won that game. And maybe if he sees these stats or if he saw them after the game, I think he might agree with me here, because he had about a 5,000 resource lead. He had a better economy, way more vills, even with the ones he was going to lose. He still had 3 town centers. He still had a trading post. And, I mean, yes, he wasn't doing well as far as trades, but I think, again, that was due to pushing in too aggressively and just not having the best composition, right? He was going into musks and dragoons, which just weren't going to counter the Black Brunswicks and the mounted cavalry. It probably would have done well against the Curs, but I mean, that's not the majority of what Raincloud was making. And when we go to the timeline here, Again, I just want to keep pointing to this villager lead. I mean, he even managed to kill a decent amount of Raincloud's vills on that push, even though he lost his army. And Raincloud's only at 26 vills. And this is a Germany with no market, and, no stagecoach, 1 TP. It's not a super strong Germany. And he doesn't have any other fallback cards. There's no 9 Ulan, there's no 8 Ulan, there's no 8 Skirm, there's no War Wagons. And I think if Camping Noob had stuck this out, I think he probably would have won. But that just goes to show, right? You never know what's happening on the other side of the map. It's so easy for casters to come in from a bird's eye view and say, should have done this, should have done that. But guys, please take all of it with a grain of salt, because, right, we're not there. We don't have to deal with fog of war. We don't have to deal with any of that stuff. So, yeah, just my 2 cents. But Raincloud, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, keep sending me games, dude. These are awesome. I love them so much. Yeah, this is great stuff. And if you guys are out there and you guys play AOE3, I know I've said this a couple times, please send me games, okay? Shoot me an email from the email connected to this channel, okay? Any of the AOE3 Discords that are popular, like Free Food Party or Lionheart server or Widgie server, I'm in them. Send me a game. I'd love to cast it. But until then, guys, I will see you next week with a couple more games. But have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.